Well, hello, beautiful people. It's good to see you guys today. And we are outside of my house today. It's a really nice weather today, so I thought I'd come sit outside and chat with you guys for a while. I am Melissa, for those of you who are new with me today on my channel. And I really want to start off by apologizing to you guys. I really am sorry for not being consistent, basically in the last month with my videos. I just want to take a brief moment just to share with you quickly, I was off work for 4 months, and like everyone else going on in our nation, the inflation, the shortages, everything, high rent, mortgages, one income is not enough. It's never been enough anyways, even without this. So anyways, back to work, I went back to work. And I have just found it so challenging to work and make a video. These videos they're pretty heavy for me, and to relive a lot of emotions in my grief, to continually keep talking about our grief and sharing about our grief, it begins to take its toll on me after a while. It does. And so I think I found that I needed a break. I needed a break from always focusing on the grief and the emotions and the intensity of it, and just work for a couple weeks and focus on my teenagers in our household. Our daughter actually went out and got 2 jobs. She's a junior in high school. They only have 2.5 weeks left of school. So it's been, but she doesn't drive yet, and so has her license. And so, yeah, it's been a lot of running around. My husband has been very busy at work. So yeah, that's just kind of where we've been at there with that. And so I do apologize for that. This will be the last video. Basically, I'm just going to take today to kind of sum up my teen videos, really, and I'm going to take just a moment to regroup, I think, and kind of let the Lord lead me. I need to let God lead me in these videos and what He wants me to say, what He wants to speak. It's not about me being seen, and it's not even so much about my pain being seen or my grief to be seen, but for God to be seen in these videos, for Him to get all the glory for my life, for the good and the bad, and I have a strong desire to encourage everyone, in their grief and grieving different types of things. And I have a heart for multiple things. I really have a heart for prison life in a way that I never ever understood before. Our oldest son is in prison for murder, 96 years sentence. The mental health illnesses that destroy and kill our families. Yeah, I got a huge heart for that too. So, I just need some moments, some time. I need to really have God open these doors for me and allow God to decide where He wants this testimony, and how it's to be shared and used, and get a little creative here maybe. But, our teenagers, I just wanted to remind everyone, that when grief hits our teenagers, the impact is immense. It's just very huge, it's gigantic, and it's overwhelming. It is. And so we have feelings like shock, denial, sadness, anger, anxiety, and they already make all these challenging days even more difficult, and so our teenagers already battle with fear, guilt, depression. We have survivor's guilt, we do. And so sometimes our teens feel like they're losing it mentally or falling apart physically. They do, And so some wonder if life is worth it, And loss and grief touches every part of our being, heart, mind, and soul, friends. It does. It does. And forgive me, I got my notes. But their world is changing, and their grief is disturbing. And it's definitely unwanted and painful. So the loneliness of grief can be intense, and teenagers, they begin to question whether they're going to make it. And as adults and parents, You know, all of my last videos, I kept ending with, we can make a difference. And so I just wanted to take this moment for my last video just to re-encourage all of us that we can make it, you know, that we can make a difference too. You know, we can enter their world and meet the teenagers where they are. You know, we really need to be able to do that. And we can be safe people who listen and love them rather than trying to fix or control them. You know, and we can choose to walk with them in their stuff, feel some of their pain, and win their trust on a much deeper level. We can, and I'm experiencing that with our teenagers. You know, we can be real and authentic about our own losses and grief. You know, helping teenagers realize that they're not alone. They're not crazy, right? And that they can survive this. And as we love them, where they are in their grief, these teens are finding the courage and the strength to move through their roller coaster emotions and live with a new sense of purpose and meaning. You know, and that's the season we're in, purpose and meaning in our family right now and in our grief. I can really feel that season real strongly in our family, that we are really searching for our purpose now and this newfound identity that we didn't ask for and definitely feels unwanted. You know, to be a grieving mother and a grieving daughter. Loss is devastating, friends. It's devastating. It is, and we are trying, and our family desires to turn it into an opportunity to rise above and overcome obstacles and serve other hurting, wounded hearts. Yeah, that's probably the best way to sum up how we feel. You know, we have a desire within us to want to serve other hurting hearts, wounded hearts. Yeah. Yeah, friends, grief is real tough. It's real tough, you know. And it's only by God's grace we can make a difference. You know, by God's grace we can make a difference. Wow. How parenting is not for the weak, is it? It takes guts, courage, faith, and tons of patience. You know, it's like watching our teens hurt is heartbreaking. Okay, it is. We want to fix it. We want to drive the pain far, far away from them, don't we? We want to insulate them and shield them from anything else terrible or disappointing or disastrous, really. We want to protect them from themselves, you know, and we want to put up whatever fences necessary to keep them from going out of control and doing damage to themselves or, you know, and their futures. Yeah, that probably sums up a lot of parenting, huh? We are equally concerned about each child in our family, my husband and I, okay? We are equally concerned. The sheer weight of responsibility as a parent can be daunting and even debilitating at times. I've seen, even with other parents, you know, they just seem frozen in it. You know, we wonder how we're going to manage it all and make it all. You know, we can feel out of control, out of depth, and helpless as parents, teenagers. You know, we can feel powerless in the face of this onslaught of the harder parts of life on us and our kids, you know? And then also single parents, they often have no partner with them to process this, evaluate, make decisions. So the loneliness can be extreme and heavy for single parents, you know? Shoot, even well-connected couples can feel alone in this battle. There's times my husband and I, we feel alone and we're very well connected, especially if no one around them has been through this or seems to understand. So even as a couple, we feel lonely and alone. I mean, nobody really around us sometimes seems to care or understand. You know, me and Vinny have felt alone. We have felt like it's just us, just me and him. You know, none of our friends have experienced murder. No, they haven't. And none of our friends are homicide survivors themselves. But I've met new friends, though, now who are. And that has been a beautiful, humbling experience, the new people that I meet through this channel and through my Instagram account, and the other homicide survivors. Their stories are breathtakingly courageous. They are, you know. We're in a very, very, very small group. 2 children murdered by their oldest brother, and that brother now in prison for 96 years. It's a very small, unwanted group, you know, and we can have many good relationships, but those connections may or may not be particularly helpful when dealing with teen grief. So God has shown me that as our teens' parents, as me and Vinny, as their parents, we need to take care of ourselves, which means we have to spend some time with God, and we need to allow God to have our pain and our hurt and our anger and our everything. You know, we are one of our teens' greatest assets in life. We are as their parents. We are as their teachers and coaches, you know, pastors, youth pastors, you know. And it is true, the healthier we are, emotionally, physically, spiritually, the better we're able to love and support our teens. You know, we have to take care of our marriage too. We do. We have to be involved in our teens' life as much as they will let us. You know, teens don't always let us a lot, you know. Sounds obvious, you guys, it does, but we all know this isn't necessarily easy at all. No, it's not. Just let your teenagers know you're there, you know. Ask questions in an engaging, non-threatening, non-intrusive way. Shit, that shit works for adults too, you know. Like, seriously, we get better results when our questions are non-intrusive, non-threatening, you know. Ask because you love them, right? And you are genuinely interested, not because you want to know what they're thinking so that you can somehow control the situation and behavior. And the Lord showed me that within myself. Like, I was wanting, you know, I had alternative motives that I didn't even understand as a parent, of wanting to know what they're thinking, because ultimately I was trying to control and fix it. So then if I knew what they were thinking, then I could somehow manipulate the situation so it could turn out good for them, well for them. You say it out loud like that, it's ridiculous. I'm not God. But yet the love of a mother, the compassion of a mother is so deep for her children. We operate so much out of that compassion as a mother. Yeah. Make ourselves available, the Lord said. Just make yourself available to them. Listen, listen, and listen some more with prayerful ears. Yeah. You know, be involved as much as possible. Meet them where they are and love them there. We got to love them right there in that. You know, our kids need to know that we have hearts, that we as parents have hearts, and that we hurt and grieve too. And it's good for them to see it. It's good for them to see this. We can model for them how to be authentic and grieve in healthy, positive ways. We can. You guys, this has more power than you realize, friends. To model your own grief, to show your kids that you have a heart too, and that you grieve too. You know, teens are watching, kids are watching. Be real. Be real. You know, be honest. Don't be afraid to grieve in front of them. We used to be a little bit afraid to grieve in front of our kids. We would think it would damage them much more somehow, or make them think about Noah and Sophia, and then therefore they would be more depressed, and we didn't want to see them depressed. And we learned through experience that they needed to see that it gave them permission to be real and authentic in their grief and in their emotions, and then it created a safe place for them to come talk to me and tell me how they feel. Yeah. I want to encourage you to reach out for good people. You know, the Lord really showed me that, and it helps me with that. And sometimes I reach out for not so good people. And boy, do I find out pretty quickly that it was the wrong choice. I shouldn't have reached out to them. I should not have threw them my pearls or shared my heart with them, you know. When people, So, there some good people we found in our lives were my husband's parents, my brother, my sister's family, teachers, counselors, youth pastors, a diverse team of helpful, supportive people to walk with us through this uncharted wilderness. Yeah, we need people as their parents alongside of us too. Good people who have our teenagers' best interest in their hearts. Yeah, don't go this alone. Do not go this alone. Surround yourself with supportive people who are willing and able to help. And God is in charge of relationships. He orchestrates relationships. He brings people together in ways it's so beautifully, you just know that was God. I'm not a person of coincidences, actually. I'm not. I don't believe in them. And I believe God orchestrates everything, even though I can't understand it or it may not feel good and looks bad. But either way, that's another video. So I asked the Lord, bring me supportive people. Open my eyes to who they are. I had a feeling they were already in my life. I was overlooking them. Tend to be a kind of a judgmental person, judging things on the outside, judging other people's resources and their capabilities to help. And that was wrong. That was wrong, and to be humble and allow the Lord to bring these right people into my life. It's been beautiful. It has been very, it's been beautiful. Be patient with yourself and your teenager. Grief isn't an item you can check off a list, It's ongoing marathon life process. There's no timetable for grief and grieving. There's not. We're in this for the long haul. Yeah. We are in this for the long haul, peeps. We're not God. You're not God. I'm not God. We're their parents. Okay? So we be patient. I be patient with myself. You be patient with yourself. And them. And we pray for God for patience. In my experience, normally how that comes is in the form of hard people to love. Situations that immediately demand patience out of me. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you were just going to give that to me, God. Like I was just going to wake up and be a patient person. Yeah, right. No, it doesn't work that way. So yeah, I've noticed that, so yeah, be ready for what we pray for, right? And patience is a fruit of the Spirit. The Lord promises us that we may have those fruits of the Spirit. So it's possible to have patience with our teens. It's possible to develop that quality, to be patient with them in the moment of their freaking out or their moment of their bad decisions or those nutso crazy banana type situations, all of that stuff. And you're always kind of sometimes looking at that teen and you're always saying to yourself, I didn't raise you that way. That's not how I taught you. Be patient. Be patient with them. Be patient with yourself. Trust in the seeds that you have planted in them. And more importantly, and most importantly, trust in Jesus. He is the author and perfecter of these teenagers' faith. He is. He is, not me, and He is the author of their grief. And He is in their grief with them. I believe that. I believe Jehovah is in our grief with us. He's not sitting back. He's not across the street. He's right in the midst of it. There's, this is tough. This is hard. Parenting may be one of the world's most challenging responsibilities. I think it is. Parenting definitely is, I think, and Yet, along with it being the world's most challenging responsibility, it's an honor. It is an honor. It's a privilege. You know, it's a gift from God. It is a gift from God. To open up our wombs invites intimacy with Jesus, you know? And he decided this life before he put it into the womb, you know? And Noah and Sophia, Noah lived on earth for only 7.5 years and Sophia for only 5.5. It's like the blink of an eye for a parent, you know? But their lives have value. Their lives still have value today. Their lives are important to us and our family, and they still have great value and influence in our lives and in our teenagers' lives too. And in the lives of everyone who knew Noah and Sophia so personally. Their teachers even still call us and contact us. The school, that elementary school, has been beautiful to us, so supportive and loving. And even to this day, you can still call the elementary school. The kids' middle schools have been extremely supportive when they were in middle school and then even in high school. You can call the staff, the principals, the office. They all know. And they're also supportive and helpful for our teens. And so that has just been so phenomenal. You just like, there actually really isn't words for it. And so I pray that everyone who hears me under the sound of my voice, that I'm going to be praying that you get support for your teens and your family too. You do, because we do not belong going this alone. And I pray that you know the Lord, that you know your God, and you know you're loved, so loved, even in grief. Even in the most ugliest, darkest days, we got to breathe deeply. Breathe in Jesus. Exhale Jesus. Oh, I got to do that a lot throughout my moments. You know. But yeah, breathe deeply. Love these teenagers. We can make more of a difference than we think, you guys. We really can. So, well, I better end it there. It's starting to get kind of noisy around my neighborhood. Cars are moving in and out, moving around. But I definitely love the sound of nature. I love the birds. I like the insects' noises too. Yeah, that's a little fun fact about me or whatever. I like to actually go to sleep. I mean, we sleep with our window open, and I like to hear the crickets chirping and the insects make their nightly noises. Yeah, I definitely love nature. Believing for a house, believing for some land. Love to have land, love to have gardens, plant vegetable gardens, and flower gardens are my favorite. I love flowers. I got a bunch of pots going on right now, actually, since it's springtime around here, and so I've done a bunch of seeds in pots. Definitely like to start them out from the seeds. It's fun that way. I like to nurture. Yeah, I guess I'm a nurturer, huh? That's probably what you could say. I definitely like to nurture, take care of things, see something all the way through, do life with people, that's for sure. I definitely want to do life with people. And there's some days and weeks and months in my grief that I don't, and I find that I isolate away. And then other months and weeks I find that I get more involved. But as my teenagers' parents, ultimately at the end of the day, I want to and must and need to stay very involved in my teens' life and stay aware of their grief as well as my own. So, well, be blessed today, beautiful people. Thank you for your patience with me. Those of you, the few of you that are hanging with me for all my videos, God bless you sevenfold. Seriously. Oh, I really hope this is encouraging your soul. You know, I really pray that when you get done watching a video, you feel encouraged, that you're not alone in your grief. You're not alone in these emotions. Your teenager is not the only teenager doing it alone either, you know? Yeah. The Bible is very true. And our brothers and sisters all over the world are undergoing the same sufferings that we are. Yeah. Well, be well today. Be kind to yourself. and I will see you on my next video. Take care.